Well, hey everybody. Are you
Hello.
tweeting? Are you tweeting? Welcome to
I'm
What Had
tweeting.
Happened
Yeah,
Was. Are you
tweeting. Go
tweeting about the
come.
show?
Yeah, come jump in. What had happened was.
That's right. I just did the same thing too moments before the show. So welcome everybody. I'm Karen Bryant.
I'm Angela Overkill Hill,
Hey, and
fashionably
listen.
late.
Yeah, exactly. And already I can see her in the green room. So we're going to get right
Yeah.
to it. We have got our girl Gina Mazany joining us today. How you doing, Gina?
I'm
Yeah.
good. Thanks for having me on here. So exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to see you. It's really
Thanks
great
for
to see you.
coming on.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
So obviously, there's a lot to get into with your fight coming up, but obviously, we also just are fresh off the heels of the fights last night, and there were women in the main event. So I feel like, I don't know, Ange, what do you think? Maybe we should just start there.
Yeah, let's do it.
That should have been you.
Ah!
God. I mean,
No!
Listen,
Oh!
man. Man.
Ah!
Well,
I'm
it's
so
funny.
angry.
They even, I don't know. I should be. They even said like she squeaked by. She squeaked by with the win with Angela Hill. Like,
And I hate how history gets rewritten, right? Like if there's a controversial decision, they don't talk about the controversy, they just talk about what's on paper. So
yeah,
even if
yeah.
it's close and literally like most of the people that I've talked to or just seen stuff online have said that I should have won the fight. It becomes like, oh, she edged by, oh, she squeaked by. So
Mhm.
super frustrating, but we're not here to talk about me, we're here to talk
oh,
about you.
girl. Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
But what did you make of the standing arm triangle, the first ever, which is pretty wild?
that was
This
filthy. I
Yeah.
think didn't Jessica I get one and back and strike force on
Right,
some.
yeah, they were saying. I think they were saying this was
Yeah.
the first one in the UFC,
Oh yeah, for
but
sure. But
yes, not the
Same.
still,
first one ever.
still
Yeah, I should
really
I should
freaking
clarify.
no, still really cool. Like, uh, I just man, she's strong. Like I think she's just like a strong chick when she gets her arms locked. She's one of those who's oh man, probably just popped her little head off. Like it was wild. That was wild.
Well,
Well,
Like
you
Andrea,
have
how
I
strong
a
was
just
she?
like to
Because you
take her
obviously
down with
you know
it.
what it's like.
What's that?
oh, how strong was she? I don't know. I didn't feel her strength when we fought, except for I think there was one moment where she did like she likes to do that DC like single leg dump to the pickup thing. So she
Mhm.
likes to do that. And I'm pretty sure she did that to me. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, we're here now. But then I like locked her up in a triangle. So I was like,
Ah,
yeah, do it again, bitch.
you
But
did fight her.
yeah, well, I was gonna say, Gina, you have pit bulls, and she has like that kind of bully attitude when she latches onto something.
Yeah,
Like once she gets a grip of something, she's not gonna let it go. Like she just locks it up, and she's just like,
yeah. That was pretty major. And honestly, it was good timing because old girl she does good about fighting backwards, and
Mhm.
Andrade's so good about fighting forwards, and so it
Yeah.
was kind of a crash that worked out well for her.
Yeah, and one thing I will say was that the push kick to the face did surprise us because it wasn't
Mhm.
on tape. But Andrade was able to watch my fight, and they game planned really well for that. She did like that kind of cross grip where you grab the push kick like this, and she was
Yeah,
able to use that to off balance her, and ultimately that's what got her that grip in the first place. So yeah,
yeah,
good job, Andrade's camp. You
yeah.
can send me my check later for
Right. I'll be over
for the
here.
night.
Actually, the ladies had like both fights of the ladies had really good clinch work last night.
Mhm.
Macy Barber and
Macy as well.
yeah, man,
Montana.
they're savage. It was like really it. People are like, oh, it's a hugging match, but it was actually pretty good technical like clinch work, good elbows,
Mhm.
good knees, good. Like it's nice to see the girls work. I don't. You're a clinch monster as is,
Well,
but
so are you. And I was actually wanted to talk about how great your clinch game
Uh-huh.
has become since you've gotten into the UFC, from like fighting Sarah McMahon to even in your last fight against Cochiera, you looked so strong and so dominant against the fence. Your wrestling was
Mhm.
on point. Like, I really love the evolution that you've done and the skills that you've obtained. And did you always have clinch, or is that something that you've been working on since you became like, I don't know, more comfortable in there?
you
I
know
have a hint, I bet.
We all know his name. No.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like I've always been really, I feel like I kind of have a pit bull mentality too, where like when I grab a hold of something, I want to hold on to it for dear life. And a lot of times that would get me into trouble. And since I've moved to Missouri and training with James Krause, he's given me a lot more of like a system for what I'm doing and given me a reason for why I'm doing things. And I'm really excited because we have been working on a lot of clinch work lately. And I just feel like my clinch game is just like, it's going up. And it's so hard because I'm coming out. It's weird because I'm coming off of a loss. And, but it was like, I'm coming off a loss of like a fight that I thought like I looked really good. I did really good until I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like I just got caught and it happens and boo-hoo.
Cachoeira is she's hard to fight. That woman is very aggressive and she doesn't stop coming. I mean,
hammers.
Yeah.
Like,
and she's underrated too. So it always kind of hurts the ego when you're fighting someone tough, but is underrated. You know, you probably have a lot of people in your ear saying, oh, you're going to fuck her up. You're going to smash her. And then like it almost gives you extra pressure walking in there because you have watched tape and you do know how good she is. So it's like kind of a double-edged sword, you know, people having that boosting like talk to you beforehand.
For sure. Where it's like, oh, you should be wrestler. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I'm like, oh man, I'm a wrestler. Well, because the big part was too about that fight was for me. Well, like I remember being on bottom and I was like beating her up. I was she got me to her guard, whatever. I was still working, and then she cuts me on bottom. I remember seeing blood come out. I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Keep working. And then I feel the ref and he stands us up. And I'm like, what? Like, what? I was 5 for 5 on takedowns. Like, I was obviously my game plan was to take her down. And then I think it's because it was one of the first fights with fans. And Mike Beltran was like, oh, well, you know, like, let's entertain them. And boy, but it was like, you know, it was one of those things where I'm like, if that was at the apex, would they stood it up? And if I would have fit it, you know, would it be different? You know, I've never been in a fight and I've never. I mean, I feel like I'm not much of a boring fighter, so I don't know. I'm not bitter against it as much anymore, but
you know, you bring something up though. Do you think that women are ref differently from men?
Yes and no. I think I don't know. I think it kind of depends on like I don't know on how I don't know. I think it just depends on the ref. I don't know.
Right. I do think I tend to think, and most people recognize that bias if there is one when we're talking about a finish or a TKO or something like that. Maybe less in a wow, are they stalling? I should stand them up point. But a lot of time it seems like if somebody's getting finished, that's when people feel like the girl fight gets stopped sooner than a guy's fight would. But I'm just curious if you feel that way.
You know, well, I kind of thought, I don't know if I saw the Bellator fights with Liz Carmouche against undefeated.
People are complaining about that one, right? Because they say she didn't have any damage.
Yeah, like, I mean, and I do think, I think if it wasn't a title fight, I would have let it, because it was a title fight, I'm surprised they stopped it. He stopped it as early.
Okay,
also Mike Beltran. No, but
I was going to say, I was like,
be a theme, Gina.
Oh, no.
She's on to something. Right.
I mean, I'm not trying to hate.
Sorry, Mike. No, he's a good dude. But, you know, if you're recognizing a pattern, maybe you're recognizing
it was just a coincidence, you know.
Yeah.
But, like, same thing with her. I thought that they should have let that go on. Like, this girl's undefeated. She's never been beat before at a professional level. Like, let her get hit a couple times in the crucifix, you know, position. And then, you know, then you can, like, you know.
See how she's doing in the corner. See if you need to stop the fight or anything like that.
She, like, sat up right away after he called her off. And she's like, what? You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, she not saying, but on another hand, I was really happy to see Liz Carmouche kill it because she's, you know, 30.
Such a cool girl.
And she's fought for so many belts and like there she got her belt. And I'm just like super stoked for her.
Same. I can't be, I'm like, I love that girl. She's great. And, you know, a former Marine and everything. Like she served her country. Like she's just a badass. And just a real cool girl. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I just remember seeing a picture, you know, the former champ posted and there's not a mark on her. And, you know, they're sort of like, hey, I don't think that was a real good stoppage, you know.
Right. But, you know, whatever. But yeah, are we ref differently? Maybe a little bit.
Maybe. Ange?
Well, I mean, you always, it's hard because the women's fights, I don't know, they stand out more because they're not as often. you know,
Right.
so there are more eyes on the women's sports as well. And on top of that, do you guys remember Kim Winslow? She's one of the examples I always bring up of people doing too much on the other end of it. So like like almost letting girls go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To prove a
Yeah.
point or something. Yeah.
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 Who was it? Who was it? Couture, Kim Couture? Was
Oh,
it?
okay. Yeah.
That
Oh, I do
you
remember her
remember
getting
that?
really beat up.
That was a
Oh,
really rough one where she was getting beat up. Then she got
yeah.
choked out. I forget what the submission was, but like Kim Winslow literally sat there and watched the girl like start like trembling
Yeah, that was
from
bad.
not having blood in her brain,
Yeah.
and everyone's freaking out. And I'm not sure if the corner finally threw in the towel or if she just realized like the girl's been out for at least 30 seconds. But
Right.
she is always one of those people when I first started fighting that that I was a little worried about if I had
Yeah.
that ref. She was like the who's the guy with the heart?
Oh God, Mario Yamasaki.
He's like she was like the Yamasaki for the women, you know. She would just like if they're still twitching, there's still a fight, you know.
Bless their
so
heart.
so there's like I don't know, it's hard to judge. I think we just need to keep fighting, and eventually we'll have some consistency in there where it's not just, you know, someone gets stuck in a position and the ref gets scared for them and stops it.
Right,
But a lot
right.
of that is innate, you know, like a lot of that where it's bred into us. So it's hard to fight those biases
Right.
until you're just exposed to it more often.
Well, Queen Badika over here is talking about Cyborg here with the Bellator champion. Get the out of my face with that. I mean, what do you mean, Queen Badika? You're not down with Cyborg, or is it? I mean, because I don't know. I didn't get to see everything, but I just saw her land that straight right that just sat her down, and I was like, dang, that looks like power. And Cyborg has just been, a wrecking
That fight was
machine for so
violent.
long. Like, how do you not respect Cyborg? I don't know. I'm not sure I'm understanding your comment, Badika.
Maybe maybe she's saying that fight wasn't that fight wasn't stopped early.
Oh, he cost Juliana a perfect record and a small fortune.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough one, but at the same time, you
Yeah.
have an easy way to set up like a rematch, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
this guy's talking about Liz. Got it.
oh, okay.
Talking about Liz being the champ. Got it. Okay, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Cyborg.
flyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Flyweight,
saying
featherweight.
Yeah.
I get, because I was like, oh, she meant feather. Wait, is that
Wait.
what's flyweight
Yeah.
start
Okay,
with?
that makes a lot more sense. Now I understand.
Cool.
Well, you know, Gina, one thing that we did see in the fight last night with Andrade and Lemos, so our leg kicks, low leg kicks and stuff. What part of that what part of your game is that? And it's one of those things where you feel like everybody in the UFC now is using them, or if they're not using them, they're afraid of them, or like some people think they're the greatest thing in the world, and some people think they're like ruining every fight. So I don't know where you stand on the leg kick thing, no pun intended.
I mean, we've got no pun intended.
I know. I'm like,
I mean, I think it's important that we learn and utilize all the weapons that we have. And fortunately, the calf kick is a pretty savage one. I'm southpaw, so I'm more open stance. But the girl I'm fighting, she will occasionally close the stance. So my ass is so excited to like land like a legit like calf kick from close stance. So I've been working on that. I don't know. Calf kicks are just, they're so crucial, and they really don't take too much. Like if you get in the right perfect spot. I do like to do calf kick from like the lead, lead to lead leg. But even then, like I feel like I don't even have to kick that hard a couple good times, and it really starts damaging that nerve and that ankle. And I'm a big fan. It's a real game changer. All the using your little leggies, and that's another thing is I don't kick very much, but this one I'm hoping to kick more. Gosh, it's so funny. Every time you get a fight, you're like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then I don't know. I'm a good wrestler, so we'll see.
Nice. Well, you're fighting a kicker, so that's gonna be interesting getting in a kick war with someone like that.
Right.
But I do feel like even though she's a kicker, there isn't that much sting on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited for this fight for you. Another kick. I don't want to give away your whole game plan, but another kick I like from you is that stab push kick. And remember
girl.
you.
Nice.
Oh, you man, you nailed it. And I think I was just starting to get used to like just digging it in. And then I saw your fight with Rachel Ostovich, and I was
Oh,
like,
right.
"Oh my
That
god,
was
that
The
was
ninja toes and
oh,
stuff.
ninja
beautiful."
toe. Yeah.
It's like the toe just goes, "Nyeh," like
Yeah.
digs right up
You.
under the
Yeah.
It gets
a little shank.
perfect.
Yeah,
It's
I
so funny
love
because
that.
that's one like I'll literally like practice on like try to aim it like pink, like perfect.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to get that in an actual finish because it's one of those that you can like drop someone easy, like fairly easy in practice because it's, you know, you're not being a total jerk. You're just like a little tap to the liver, you know.
Yeah,
But in a fight, you can like really ram it in someone's soul.
yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Old girl is a big kicker. I'm really curious to see how that is because I haven't fought anybody who's very kicky, and a lot of times a lot of people aren't very kicky on me, and I think it's because I'm so wrestling oriented and like when Tim fought gosh what's his name Espinoza, and every time he old boy kicked, Tim took him down. Like it was easy peasy, and so I'm hoping like if you know she does those like weird kicks and stuff, I can catch it and take her down with it.
Yeah, it's perfect for that flare double, man. Like,
Yeah.
just
Ooh,
go
girl.
for it. Just take the shit. No, don't take the head kick. But if you accidentally take the head kick, don't hesitate. Just grab it off of your head and run with it.
I'll eat it and run.
Yes,
Eat it
yes.
run.
Well, how about Cyborg suplex last night? It was like, oh,
man.
damn.
Effortless. Like it, she's amazing. Like man, like it was so effortless. And watching that, like I dabble in pro wrestling, and
Nice.
when you do suplexes in pro wrestling, like your partner's doing it with you a little bit, and it's kind of hard. And then like, but she did it to somebody who didn't want to be lifted, and she just back to belly, like, oh, that was sick.
Amazing. In fact,
You're done.
this reminds me, I actually have on my channel, if people are looking at this on YouTube, I have a video of Cyborg taking Tito Ortiz down. And it's pretty crazy. Like she slams him. That woman is very strong. And when you see somebody do that perfectly, and like I remember I had Babalu teach us suplex him, like the faith in the move, the confidence, like everything that it takes. And like you said, she just did it so effortlessly and flawlessly. It was beautiful.
And first time I actually saw Cyborg in person, she was standing next to Tito because I think he was managing her at the time. It was at a lion fight, Muay Thai show. And I was amazed that she was like the same size as So Cyborg's a big woman. Yeah, she's a big woman. If she suplexes you, you kind of don't have a choice. Like
her back's like I can't even fit. Like her back's just man, she's an athlete, man.
Air miles, courtesy of Cyborg. Okay. So, you mentioned Tim. For folks who don't know, you and Tim Elliott have been together for quite some time, and he's such an incredible grappler. So, you're sitting next to now grappling Ange. It's a whole new girl. Like she's been going to. She's been going to jiu-jitsu tournaments. She's been grappling like crazy. What do you like? What do you love about that part of the game? What do you think, Tim's passion for it? What has he given you? Like, has he boosted your love for that part of the game even more?
Oh goodness, man. I feel like I've had this like little golden treasure that I haven't really been able to crack open quite yet into the past 2 years.
Yeah.
When we first started dating, it was just kind of an interesting transition to like be with somebody that is also trying to be, who's trying to be a world champion, who's trying to like be the best they can be. And then it's like, it was just a lot to figure out our place in our relationship and like in training and in coaching. And but since we've been in Missouri, it's been great because like both of our head coach is James. And so it's nice because I'm able to work with him, work with Tim more because James is my main guy. And so when I do get to like dig through Tim's grappling brain, it's unreal. Like the amount of information he knows is just like like that. I'm like, you need to like write a book. You need to make like tutorial. Like he just has so much.
He's incredible.
Really cool wrestling stuff. And I really feel like his like last fight with Tagir was just mind blowing. Like he just turned all of old boys wrestling upside down. So I don't know. So I don't know what I forgot what the question was, but
Well, it sounds like I was just
How
basically
much
asking,
he
like, if
loves
he's
him.
imparted, yeah, exactly, how much of his passion for the game has come down to you. And I mean, you can just hear it in your voice that it sounds like you just love that part of the game now so much too.
oh, it's been so cool. It's been fun. It's been fun learning from him and just being able. I mean, you have that with your man too, Angela, with like being able to train and like probably in the middle, like, man, like what if I did this to her? What if I, what do you think about this? And it's just like really cool to share that with your partner, like your best friend, your mate. Like it's really it's really special. That sounds really lame, but it is. It's super special.
It is. You can't deny how special it is. Like, I don't know. I've been watching Bridgerton this
Me
weekend.
too. I already saw the whole season, honey.
It's
Have you
so
seen it, Gina?
lame, but
Yeah,
I'm like so
good.
into it for the smut and the romance. I was just,
Yes.
Dude, I know it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't believe I'm watching this. But anyway.
I'm so
Yeah,
embarrassed,
exactly.
but obviously not that much because I watched it and now I'm talking about it. But just having a partner that you feel that passion with in the same way, Lord Bridgerton felt the passion with Lady Sharma, or however you say it.
Yeah.
But like having that passion with somebody who also shares like the same like goals, the same career goals,
that's awesome.
is really
That's
something
awesome.
special. A lot of people don't have that, and it's something that people can get jealous of also. Like if you had a partner who wasn't training, who wasn't in the MMA scene, then if you're asking Tim all these questions, they're gonna start getting angry, so it's cool that you have it all in one person. But yeah, like we were talking about with the clinch is something that me and Adam will work on like in the kitchen while he's waiting for like something to bake. We start like, messing around and plum. And I'm like, why can't I get this trip when I do this? And he's like, oh, well, you got to lift the elbow. And just those little brainstorm sessions really elevate your game a lot faster than they would if you only had that when you were in the gym. So that's really cool. And you can see, the progression of your grappling, how effective it is since you like bunned up and moved to Missouri. So it is really cool to see that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty rad. I like it out here, and I don't know. It's really like team like, it's just our own little bundle.
Yeah.
Of humans,
Well, and it's great. James is one of the hardest working coaches. That man is in the Apex almost every single weekend.
Boy, is he. He really is. He's like, man, I don't want to say he's a workaholic, but he does like to work. But he's also like a nerd. Like he's a nerd about the sport. Like he's obsessed about it. And I love that because when you're like, it's around your fight time and you're always like, you want to talk, like, I don't know, like you want to talk about your fight.
You're obsessed with it. You need to be obsessed with it. You should be talking about it all. It should consume you.
Yeah. And it 100% does. And so it's nice to be on that same level where like, the closest, like my coach and my man, like they're both on that same level too. Or, sometimes I'll come to the gym and I'll ask James about something because I just watch film, and then he'll be like, hey, Gina, I was watching your girl this morning and I was thinking, let's try this, and this, or like same thing with Tim. And it's been nice. And I feel like I'm learning a lot more. And I think a part of it too has to do with like being older. I was actually talking about this with Ash Evan Smith the other day. We were talking about like being the older gals of the sport and like how it's kind of intimidating when like these cute young girls roll in and they're just like smashing faces one by one and doing real good. But then I got to think about it too, is like what we have as like being the older, the older fighters is we have a lot of fight IQ and we have a lot of experience and, like the way that we started fighting is a lot different than how they started fighting, like I remember like getting, my shoulder would pop out in the gym. My coach would pop it back in. I'm like, okay, go back out there. And you're like, okay.
Scary alarm.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to me too. And to that point, I think too, what's interesting is a lot of women that are on the quote unquote older side of the fight game are still learning and are enjoying the process of learning so much. And you hear so often now, a lot of girls coming in going, I'm going to be the youngest champ and I'm going to be the youngest this and I'm going to be that. And a lot of them are so aggressively pursuing something at such a young age where that's great. I'm not trying to tell people not to have goals, but at the same time, don't hurry up the process so much because there's so much to be
Time.
gained.
Yeah, like take your time, get some fights, make some money, get yourself to your second, third, fourth contract to where you're actually making cash. Then you know what I mean? Like that's where I wish I would have done it. Because when I got in, I fought Sarah McMahon, and I was like weirdly stuck in the top 10 at bantamweight. It just didn't make any sense at all. But I was like, okay, whatever you guys say. And like hindsight, like I was fighting top tier girls, and when in reality there was a little bit of like some girls more on my level that I should have been fighting. And but like that's what I'm trying to do now at the flyweight division is like I want to get the ball rolling and feel good at this weight class and work my way up. But it's like there's that's the thing. There's no hurry in it. Like enjoy the process. Like there's this game will take you on a wild ride whether you like it or not. No matter how prepared or unprepared you are. Like it'll
for sure. And by the way, you look amazing. You posted a picture the other. It's like, damn, like Shred City.
You're cut.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you're cut. So what are you doing something different with your strength and conditioning or diet or how was it? Because now you're a flyweight.
Mm-hmm.
So how was it doing that change, getting down there and being consistent with it? Oh
no, it's not awful. It's not awful. It's I literally have to weigh my food for like 10 weeks straight. Wow. So like I honestly like I usually do 10 to 15 weeks. This one I did about 12 weeks. So but like 10 weeks where I was like pretty strict, but like I literally weigh everything. I work with Tyler Mitten. He's amazing, but like it's wild. The amount of food I'm actually able to eat is pretty great. Like when I first started doing it, like I eat so much, I feel like I can't finish it.
But it was probably more protein heavy though, right? And less.
Yeah, pretty protein heavy, but I get I get like, I get, if for dinner I can have 4 rice cakes. Very exciting. Well, not anymore, but like during camp, like I'm fed really good. And it's amazing. Like I've never looked like this. But I do have to be on my shit, and I have been doing more conditioning, and because I don't know, I just want to make sure I have like a really good gas tank for this fight, and I've been checking all my boxes, but yeah, I'm ready for snacks.
So does that mean, like long runs? Like what does that mean when you're talking about? Because you do need to be ready now. That can take a lot out of you making that cut. So what do you feel like you had to do a little bit differently on that conditioning?
For to get to conditioning for this fight or for just so my last fight I just did my conditioning with just live rounds because I figured like the more live grappling rounds, live sparring rounds I could have, like if I can maintain 10 5-minute rounds, that's almost an hour of grappling, hard grappling, then I should be able to fight somebody for 15 minutes. And and I think that's still true, but this camp I really focused on, like I did like strength training and a lot of like sprints and stuff and like that kind of thing. And just like maintenance of like, making sure my body's all good, like knees, elbows, shoulders, old lady stuff. But then on top of like the other head, shoulders, knees, and toes. But then on top of that, like I would make it a point to like after grappling, I'd go on the bag and throw like 100 like speedy punches as burn my shoulders out. And then after I'd do striking, I would grab a bag and I'd squeeze on it. So really going for stand. So I'm just trying to like make sure I got all the gas in the tank to put this girl away.
Nice. I'm asking, because Ange, you posted that video today of you in your strength conditioning class looking like, or not class, but doing your beast mode thing.
Yeah. It's different, I don't always believe in strength and conditioning, or I haven't always believed in strength and conditioning. Like I'd have my generic like MMA style strength and conditioning that I used to do. And eventually I just didn't feel like it was making a difference in my fights because I would have these short notice fights and feel just as strong, just as fast. That I felt like my gas tank was just as long. So I kind of switched it up, and now I'm doing it's kind of like a movement thing, but there's still like regular strength stuff involved. But it's similar stuff to that where you're squeezing and you're loading onto certain parts of your body so you can explode and you're not losing speed. And that was one thing that I really hated about strength and conditioning is I felt like, you know, if I did strength and conditioning on Saturday and I went hard, because I always go hard, on Tuesday sparring, I'd feel like shit because like my shoulders are still heavy, my body is still sore. So I looked strong, but I felt slow and sluggish. So it was yeah, now that I have like a slightly different version of strength and conditioning, I feel a little better moving and stuff.
Sense.
And yeah, I think one thing the pandemic taught a lot of people is to start being a little more of a diva, start being a little more demanding. And if something's not working for you, change it. And I think that's what you did. Like you feel like, you know, you need a little more after striking, you need a little more after grappling. So now you're like working on the bag, you're doing stuff, you're taking initiative. And I really like that. I think a lot of people who have been successful since the pandemic have been taking initiative, because really a lot of people just had to be self-motivated when all the gyms shut down and when you didn't have someone, you know, telling you what to do because you had a big class and you had an instructor. So
yeah, no, that's a big thing about taking the initiative. And I mean, and James always says this, he's like, I'm never going to want it more than you do. You're always going to have to want it more than me.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I definitely want it more than he does, but you know.
So listen, it's April now. It's late April. Ideally, how many more fights would you like this year?
Goodness. Well, so Tim and I are supposed to get married in October.
Can I come?
Yeah. So and he's got a fight in June. So ideally, in a perfect world, I beat this girl's ass. I do great. Come out unscathed. Get another fight in. Ideally, like right after Tim, so I have like a little bit. I don't know, or even a little bit right before Tim. I don't know. I would just love to be as active as possible, and I feel like I know, but I feel like that's what we all want for the most part. I don't know a lot of fighters that are like, I want to fight and then take 6 months off. Like, none of us really want it.
I mean,
there's a handful.
Some girls I do think, want to kick back and wait for some things to like filter out before they get back active. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like I'm in my prime right now. Like I'm getting older, but like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm getting really good. So I'm like, I need to take advantage of while I can. And I would love to compete as much as possible. I would love to if I could fight like two more times this year, even 3 more times. Like I would be a happy camper.
Maybe you could get one in like August or something, and then you'd still have time to plan your wedding and enjoy the wedding bit. Well, not plan it as already, but you know what I mean? Get ready for the wedding. And then you could fight, like at the end of the year or something.
Yeah. Be good.
Well, what are the plans? Can you?
I was just gonna say, you have a honeymoon. What are you doing?
So we're so it's so funny because initially I really wanted to do, because it's around Halloween, I wanted to do a zombie theme wedding where
oh my god,
like, you can either come dressed formal or you can come dressed as a formal zombie.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
How cute would that be?
I love it so much.
We're going less zombie though. We're just I don't know. It's like a little fun traditional, but we're like, the one thing is like Tim and I were like, we have to have a taco bar, because taco bar, salsa bar, like some margs. Oh girl,
is it in a church? Is it outside? Is it on a beach? Where's it going to be?
It's in like a little downtown area where they have like a rooftop deck, and it's actually really cute. And it's it was funny because it's in this little town that Tim and I, when we first moved to Kansas City, I was like, I love this downtown. Could you imagine getting married here? And then we're getting married there, so it's kind of cool.
That's so romantic.
I love.
And I did
love
too.
so cute.
Yes, and tacos. Is that what you said?
Well, look at. I just need to let C know Gina is fine. But listen, she's taken. So, you know.
Yeah, you're going to have to fight Tim for her. Good luck.
Little psycho.
Yes. No, there's to the queens. Well, what up? Chocolate toast, whatever. Well, yeah, listen, I love it. And I have to ask before we let you go, but my daughter loves to color her hair, and she hasn't, she keeps asking me if she could like bleach it first to really go in some of these intense colors. And I'm like, I'm a little hesitant on that. And then also her school doesn't allow, all the colors. So she kind of has like a burgundy thing going, this kind of purpley burgundy thing, which is cool. And they like that. But when did you first start, coloring your hair and stuff? Like, what was your first one? What's been your favorite color? Like, what was the impetus behind that?
So it's so funny. I started coloring my hair back when I was in college, and I went to an art school, and one of my
Oh, you did? Where'd you go? Because
I
yeah,
did
Angie
wanna
went to
ask
art
you
school,
about
and she's
that,
going to
but
apply. My
You
daughter's going to
did?
apply to art school.
Represent, yes.
Yeah, my kid's going to go to art school. Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Art Institute of Seattle.
You
Nice,
did?
It was
nice.
sick. Yeah.
Okay, wait, Gina, I'm going to have to talk to you about this offline because actually I took her to Seattle last summer and she loved it. But we didn't go to the art thing. But she, like, we've been talking about going back to that city because she loved being there. And if you're telling me that school was good, that might be an option for her.
Oh man, see, it was rad. It was really cool. The school was tough, but it was where I felt like I learned a lot, and you get set up with a job right after, and it was pretty sweet. And Seattle was pretty sweet at the time, and it was a good spot. But coloring my hair, I was coloring my hair like back like 10 years ago when I was in college, and I had like a little tiny like strip of blue, and that was like how it all started, and then it went red. And then I was pink for about like 8 or 9 years. And then just a couple months ago, I decided to go with green. I don't know why.
That's great. I love it. I love it.
I love the green. I think
I love the green too.
I don't know. Maybe it just looks like, I don't know, mature Gina.
Right?
Like, she's still sultry.
The pink was great too, though, because it was. I think when I first met you, you were pink.
Yeah, yes. I was pink.
Pink and purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I look too sweet. Like Kim Possible has green hair. I want to be less sweet. I want to be more violent.
Kim Possible, yeah.
Yeah, Kim Possible.
That's amazing. So what? I don't know. Let us know if we're keeping you too long.
Oh, but great.
I do want to know about your pro wrestling career and if you want like the careers to kind of merge together, or are there MMA goals that you want to complete before you go that way, or do you have a future in pro wrestling? Like, because I've seen your stuff and it's really cool that you're into it. A lot of MMA fighters have been making the transition. I think it's even easier for women in MMA to make the transition than the guys. So tell me a little bit about that part of your life.
So I really, I feel like a lot of fighters, we grew up watching pro wrestling, and I watched it with my brothers, and my brothers got really into it. So of course, then I got really into it. But then there was a place in Vegas where my brother would occasionally randomly just take pro wrestling matches, and I would go ahead and join and start training, and it's just really fun. And it was nice to do in like the off season. But here there hasn't really been. I haven't found a pro wrestling gym. I think I know of one. Right. That is a possibility. I think that'd be so much fun because pro wrestling is it's just so goofy, not goofy, but it's kind of goofy. Like it's just fun to be like you know how you would imagine yourself to be as like a fighter out in a like we
it's like superhero stuff in a way.
Yeah, like what we do is like we go out and fight and we show like real battle, like violent situations, but like we don't really do a lot of like, the fun gimmicky pro wrestling stuff where you're just like, and it's fun to be that character for a little bit. But it would definitely be something I would be into if I wasn't so obsessed with this right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the fight life just completely consumes you. When people are like, oh, what do you do in your off time? I'm like, well, I rest and I hang out with my farm animals, but like that's about it. Like I don't do too much.
Yes, no. Right. Totally in the boring side of fight camp too, where you just go and train and come home and you're too tired to do anything but put your clothes in the washing machine. And
and even if you get that far, like it's just, I don't know. It's a lot. And right now I'm at the point where, I'm fighting next week. And so now I just have to rest.
Yeah.
And for me, it's really like, but I'm like tired because I'm like I'm cutting my calories and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is the hardest part, just having to sit and do nothing.
Yeah. Every now and then you just get the urge to punch a wall.
Yeah.
Rookie wall, get out of my way.
Yeah.
That's good though. That means you're getting dialed in. You're getting dialed into the fight zone and all of that. So if we, and by the way, just a quick side thing. You mentioned the farm animals thing. You posted something the other day. I love goats. Always have my whole entire life. And you posted something with a sweet little baby goat. And I too am like, if I could just get a baby goat and just like they could do something. I don't want to mess with animals genetically, but if it would just stay a baby goat and I could just keep it this little, like how great would that be?
Well, so it's funny you mentioned that. So we actually they're called Nigerian dwarf goats, and they don't get as much bigger than your knee. So they're like, they're like pretty short, And it was funny. The other day I was coming home from practice and I called Tim. He goes, "Oh no, Cookie's like rolling around in her belly. We don't know what's wrong with her." And called one of our buddies over, and he like deals with all the livestock, and he goes, "Oh, yep, she's having a baby." And just we didn't know she was pregnant. I just thought she was getting fat. And she just had a little tiny baby goat, and it's so cute, and it just runs around and just like, oh, it's really cute. So that's
So
been
cute.
really fun.
That is so cute. I love it. But so we mentioned obviously that all of us are into Bridgerton and Lady Whistledown. But what else do you watch? Like are you a gamer? Because we're also on Twitch right now. Like, are you a gamer? What have you been watching? What do you do when you are just kind of laying around on the couch being a sloth? If you have enough energy to muster up to play a game or watch something, what is it?
I do. I watch The Office like every single day.
Nice.
Every single day I watch The Office. It's like a total comfort food for me. Tim and I, we've been playing on the Switch a lot, so we've been playing a lot of the old right now we're playing Yoshi's World or Yoshi's Land.
Oh yeah, Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island. It's really hard.
I know. It
And
is pretty hard. I like the board where like you get high. Like there's like a bubble that comes down, and if you eat the bubble, you're like tripping balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't hit them, otherwise the screen gets all like
loopy. Or like a poppy seed or something weird, something like kind of not child friendly, but it's a kid's game. So
whatever.
Roll it
back in the day.
Yeah.
But that one and we play this stupid like bean game. We don't play any like I don't know.
Bean game.
It's a bean. We call it the bean game, and it's so stupid. It's kind of like Tetris. You just like stack them, and then they get 4 in a row, and they blink.
Okay. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know that game. I'm trying to think of it. It's like Dr. Mario, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. There's I think there's one on the Sega, and it was like not Dr. Evil, but. But then bringing the Nintendo Switch to fights is such a game changer.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've been doing that too.
I know you do. I haven't really done it until like the past like maybe like 4 or 5 fights ago between Tim and I. And we're like, why haven't we been doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're, it's funny because I just got my daughter the Just Dance for the Switch, and I was actually even telling her like we need to play that later on and stuff. But yeah, if I hear you playing Just Dance at the Fighter Hotel, Gina, I might be knocking on that too.
Let's go.
Just Dance on the Switch.
They have it in, because same thing like you said, you can like plug it into the TV in your hotel room, right? And so just because we were the other day we were in the store and you bought one and you're looking at the track listing and there's some good songs on there and
there you go. You gotta get the microphone too. What was the one? Just Sing. Get a little karaoke going on.
Why not?
Well, you actually got me into what was it called? Cook Off? Wait.
Oh,
Overcooked. You got me into Overcooked because I asked you what you were playing. And you're like, "Oh, I'm playing this stupid game called Overcooked," and I played one game and I was like, "Oh my god,
what is it?"
It's so good.
It's so stupid. It's like, have you ever played like Diner Dash or any games where you have to multitask? So it's like that.
Where you have to cook, like you're cooking over here, and then you got to run over here and do this. And you got to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyone who worked in the restaurant industry is actually kind of like it gives you PTSD because I'm like, oh god, this is like brunch shift all over again. But it's really fun because you have to communicate with your partner. I feel like it improved me and Adam's communication too.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Send my check in the mail for therapy. I got it. It's fine.
Yeah, I will. Oh, I will. If I get that bonus, I'm like, thank you. Adam communicated perfectly to knock her ass out, and I did. So, thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah, but it's really fun. It's just like you got to talk to your partner and just be like, hey, I need bread, and they toss you bread, and then you're like, okay, the burger's ready. You got to serve it out, and they have to come and serve it out, but there's all these obstacles in the way. Yeah. Yeah. I need more plates.
I need
Like,
more
that's
plates. Oh no, my noodles are overcooking.
yes, that was a fire. Get the
The
fire
extinguisher,
extinguisher.
yeah.
I
It's
love
really-
that game.
it's
They need
really
to
good.
come out with a 3.
It sounds fun because I sit around and I watch like almost every day when I wake up in the morning and I'm having my coffee and I'm going through, whatever emails and all this. I'm always watching, John Taffer and the whole, when he's doing bar rescue, and
Love
it
that
sounds like
show.
it's the same kind of thing. And whenever they have the one where, okay, we're having a test tonight, and and everybody just goes mental, and I was watching, and
Yes.
it's so. That show is highly entertaining, so maybe I might enjoy that game.
They
Oh, it's really
Overcooked
good.
needs to do like a John Taffer reskin of the game and just
Yeah.
like have a bar that's shit. Like,
Yeah,
you have to
and-
clear out the
yeah.
roaches. Somebody
Right.
tries to
Yeah.
fight someone.
There's mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta clean it all up.
Yeah, exactly.
The POS system doesn't work. Oh,
Yeah.
please. I know like all the lingo from that show.
Yeah, I love that show.
Awesome.
one.
Awesome. Well, listen, yeah, Gina, it is the Sunday for you for fight week. And so want to let you go and kind of chill and everything. But I'm working this weekend, so I'm very excited to be working
Hey.
this. Ideally, if I'm on the air and I'm saying, okay, so Gina told me X, Y, and Z, like, do you have a, I know a lot of time, people, when they go in a fight, win or lose, there's something they want to show off or something they want to prove to themselves, or, like a mission statement in their head going into the fight. Do you have something like that going into this one?
It's really, I really feel like this is the fight where I show out. I really want people to see how
Yeah.
good I am. Like, I'm really, like, my record doesn't show it, but I'm really fucking good. Like, I'm really good. And I'm excited to show how good I am, and just feel like this is the first time in my life where like I fully believe in myself. And I had to rewatch my last fight and I was like, wait, I did good. I was winning until I wasn't.
Mhm.
It happens, whatever. So yeah, I just really want to impress myself.
Nice. Well, I after, because I didn't really know about that girl until we were gonna have you on, and after watching a little tape, I'm
And she
feeling
feels
it.
confident about your victory.
I'm feeling it. I'm
She's
feeling
very-
the
she's very-
matchup.
She's kicky and she's scrappy and she's tough. She's like, how I describe her, like, oh, what's she like? I'm like, she's fighting a really tough girl. Like, she's just very, like how some girls just like fight really, I want to say like, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but like kind of awkward. So it's
Yes.
there's gonna be stuff from everywhere, but like, I don't know. I'm my eye on the prize.
And I think that's her biggest obstacle. The biggest obstacle is the awkwardness.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just basics and the way that you set up your takedowns, especially on the fence, and you're striking offense before that, I feel like you're gonna have all the keys to victory. But it's gonna be a fun one. I do think you're gonna be able to show out against this girl, and above anything, just have fun, believe in yourself, listen to your mans, listen to your corner. I'm super excited for you.
Heck yeah, I'm excited too. Thanks, guys.
Well, and
Yeah,
meanwhile,
thanks for
her
coming on.
man's handle is literally awkward MMA. So it's like, I feel
Yes, so
like
you're
you're
used to
prepared
it.
for somebody awkward. Like,
I've been
you
chilling with
get
some
more
awkward
prepared.
Yeah, I've been chilling with some awkward for 5 years now.
Yeah.
I know awkward like the back of my hand.
Exactly. The comfort
Yes.
level with awkward is very high. Well, yeah, it's so great having you on, and I'm really glad that you were able to do this. Looking forward to your fight, and I will actually see you next weekend out in Vegas.
Heck yeah, I'll see you. I'm excited.
All right, Gina. Thanks so
guys.
much.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Go.
Bye. What a cool chick.
Yay, Gina.
She's so cool.
Awesome. I love that girl. She's super dope. I met her a while back.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe after her second fight in the UFC. So that was like way back in like 2017 or something. And she's always been super cool, very chill, like a very chill training partner. And I always feel like that's a good sign that someone would be chill to hang out, outside of the fight life. But yeah, I love her disposition on life. She's always very positive. She's always been a hard worker, and we didn't really get to touch on it, but she got cut, won a fight, and came back into the UFC. And that's something that not a lot of people have been able to pull off. So getting cut can be a really traumatic experience, especially if you felt like you had a lot more to give, or
Yeah.
if you just felt like the competition was really tough. Like a lot of people, it's hard to bounce back,
Yeah.
get that win, show up, and then do well when they show back up in the UFC. So kudos to her for just sticking with it, believing in herself, changing things so that she can have a more productive fight camp, a more a more successful fight week and everything. Lots to be inspired by looking at Gina.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Awesome. Well, and our buddy Joe Bose is saying that was such a great interview. Looking forward to Gina's fight with Shanna Young on the prelims on Saturday. We are too, Joe. Yeah, definitely. One thing I did want to get into a little bit, I do have a little bit of that fight footage, from this weekend, because I am
Oh.
curious, like how if you could talk us through, and I know they don't really show us like the whole finish or whatever, but the setup for the standing arm triangle, because that's what I was asking you before about Jessica's strength. Like, what do you think it was that was the most advantageous for her to get that? Like, is it her body type? Is it her power? Is it just her technique? What was it?
Well, one thing, if you watch my fight with Lemos, she lets the arm get up there. When it went to the ground, I got that reversal. I started setting up a bomb flu, and then I was trying to go for a head and arm choke like the one that Andrade got there. So Andrade sent me another check, But
Yeah.
one thing she allows this to happen. And the size of her shoulders, she should never let that shit happen. Like she should
Right.
not let her shoulders get close to her neck at all, because that is a good way. That's just like an easy way to get set up. But she was doing
Right.
really well on the feet against Andrade until that happened. Now, I do think the height might have helped. Just because Andrade's a little shorty, she was able to sneak up
Yeah.
under there and catch the arm before Lemos was able to pull it back down. But the way that the choke works is basically you have two sides of your neck that give blood to your brain.
Right, with the carotid arteries.
The carotid arteries, right? So the shoulder is up on one side, then Andrade's arm is on the other.
Right. So we're cutting off your own with this side.
Yeah.
Right,
And the closer your shoulder gets to your neck, the tighter the squeeze is. And then on the other side is Andrade's arm. So she did a great job of not giving up on the choke too soon, because a lot of times when people do get close to that choke, they'll like start to feel their arms gas out, and they'll give up and go to something that maybe may be more successful. But she felt that squeeze. Also, Andrade has little T-Rex arms too. So she has big old biceps, big old shoulders. So does Lemos. She felt that the squeeze was in, the lock was in there, and she didn't let go. And all of those factors led to Lemos getting choked out. I thought it was really impressive just because, the confidence in the choke. It was a standing head and arm choke. That's not something you see that often. And, I don't know. It's just usually people are able to squirm, especially women, because our necks are a lot smaller than the guys. So a submission that I practice in the gym and I get on all the guys, it won't work on the girls. Like I'll get the head and arm choke on the ground on the guys a lot faster than I'll get with the girls. With the girls, I'll usually have to transition to something else, push the arm, go to the back or something like that. But on guys, like they'll start gurgling immediately because their necks are thicker. So I was impressed that she was able to get that as a woman at strawweight. Like that was a big deal. So just for you guys to know, definitely more impressive getting the head and arm choke, arm triangle, whatever you want to call it, on a woman than it is on a guy, just because that squeeze has to be there. It has to be just in the right spot. Otherwise, they're able to like get just a little bit of shoulder space and breathe for a little bit.
So who do you think should be next for Jessica then?
For Andrade?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. No, I'm trying to think. I would like for them to keep mixing it up, because Jessica hasn't fought at strawweight since she fought Rose, right?
I was gonna say that was the first, because she's been going back and forth between 25 and 15, right? So
yeah. So I don't know. I think it would be cool to give Andrade one of those second place kind of matchups, like a
Right, okay.
Zhao and Yan, like a Marina Rodriguez, somebody like that.
Right. Well, Trady 80 saying, yeah, that fight was definitely fire. You didn't see that coming, and she made history. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it
Yeah.
was the first standing arm triangle in UFC history, apparently. I guess she called out the winner of Weili versus Joanna, that's a good call out. That's a good call
Yeah,
out.
but we've seen those fights before.
I mean,
like,
but I mean, at the top of the division, it's going to be like that
it's
now,
a good
right?
call
So,
out, but as a strawweight, I'm fucking over it. You know, like, oh, Whaley's
right.
gonna fight Joanna again. Rose is gonna fight Carla again. Then the
Yeah,
winner
I
of Rose
know.
Carla is gonna fight the winner of Whaley Joanna, and then fucking Andrade's gonna come in and fight the winner of the loser of Rose Carla, and then she gets to fight the winner of Rose Carla versus Whaley Joanna, and then they're all just fucking rolling around on each other and not moving from the top 5 because they're not letting any new blood get a taste. So that's what annoys me about it. And you know, I might be a little more annoyed because I had to watch fucking highlights of my fight all day yesterday, and they didn't show
that's
any of
insane.
me winning the fight. Which
I was going to say, they don't show you
they
dropping
don't show any of
Andrade.
that.
Right.
Fucking DC's showing the teleprompter going, oh, look at this. And I'm just like, oh man. It's hard, guys. It's tough,
sure.
especially when you feel like you did enough to win. But you know, on the flip side, I'm getting to fight all these new blood people. I'm getting a lot of information, getting a lot of things to keep that from happening when it really matters. You know, like when and if the title shot does happen.
Yeah.
If that were to go to the other person because of a controversial split decision, that would be way more devastating than any split decision that I've gotten to this point. 5.
Yeah.
And
right.
none of them should have been splits. They should have been unanimous. So yeah, in the long run, I feel like it'll pay off. But as of right now, it is annoying watching all the girls at the top 5 just fight each other over and over again and not let any new blood get a taste. I do like that Marina Rodriguez is up there, that Zhao and Yan is up there. There's now Lemos is up there, bitch. And not Lemos, the judges that gave her the win.
Yeah.
Whatever. She's a bitch though, because she's a cheater. But yeah, it's nice getting these new people up there where you haven't seen a lot of tape. They can surprise you at any moment. A lot like how Andrade surprised us, you know, but that's what happens when you get the new blood in there too. Sometimes they're not ready for the people who've been fighting at the top 10.
Right.
So yeah, lots of interesting things you could do, but I want to see them mix it up. I want to see them fight other people, not just the ones in the top 5.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Well,
quit getting me going, Karyn. You just
sorry.
Rip my braids out.
I mean, that's why we're here. Did you watch? Well, when we were talking this one, when we were talking about grappling, Ange, you must have been impressed with this knee bar.
I was very impressed. I was texting all my grappling friends about it.
Were you?
I'm like, what happened? What happened
there? Yeah, what happened there?
So, you know, this is a great fight. Guy got him down, and you know, Clay Guida got on top, but he had tricks up his sleeve. And I liked in his post-fight speech how Puelas, is that how you say it?
Puelas or
Puelas?
Puelas, yeah.
I like how, because they were asking about the knee bar, because this is his 3rd knee bar finish in the UFC, and he transitioned from triangle to arm bar to omoplata and then he was stuck on the bottom, and you're like, okay, well now Clay Guida is safe from danger, and then he whipped that knee bar in so fast. It was sick, like how he set it up. My grappling friends told me it was from the half guard, and he just kind of shot his leg across and was able to snake around, grab Clay Guida's leg, put it in between his legs, and it's basically like you're rear nakeding the person's ankle. You just pull it back,
right?
Yeah, their leg bends the wrong way, at the knee. It's like a big old arm bar, you know, like,
Right.
but because the leg is so big, you got to get up in there like
You
a
really
rear naked
gotta-
choke. Yeah,
Yeah.
you really got to get in there, keep your knees nice and tight, bend, basically sit on the guy's lap when you do it too, like get your butt all
Yeah.
up in that crotch area, just so
Right. Get
they
off.
can't wiggle
Right.
it out and
They can't. Right.
take
Yeah.
your
You
knee
got to make
away.
sure there's. Yeah.
Yeah, but the most impressive thing about that one was how fast he got it in there. He locked it in tight. And Clay Guida, he's no slouch on the ground. Like this is
No.
a big deal. He's not fighting some scrub, you know, he's fighting Clay Guida. He is a veteran. He knows what he's doing down there. So for that to catch him off guard was really super impressive. So
Yeah.
really nice win by Puelles.
Puelles.
Puelles. We're gonna pronounce the shit out of his name.
We're
soon
gonna
because
butcher.
that guy's nasty.
We're gonna butcher it so much, but I'm curious too. I don't know if people watch this one as much. But since we were just talking about with Gina, this is the last one I wanted to cover. But yeah, the clinch game of Macy. You know, I guess she's kind of making up for time because she had to be out for a while with that knee injury and stuff. Speaking of Clay Guida, speaking of Team Alpha Male, so they are teammates. So they did go 1-1 on Saturday night.
Okay, yeah, good for them. And you
Yeah.
know, I actually got to talk to Macy Barber a little bit before just she was down at Cage Warriors, so we were chatting a bit, and it was funny because she was talking about the whole age thing and how she was very determined to be youngest champion until like the knee injury and the loss and things kind of set her back a little bit. And it's good to just be in there and being in the moment, you know, like look at all this clinch work she's doing against the fence, making those moments count, getting her down, getting De La Rosa to put parts where she can't hit her back, you know. And Montana, she's a good chick. Like I'm not even sure what the betting lines were on that, but I wouldn't be sure if it was neck and neck because like they're just so evenly matched. So to be able to put on a dominant performance like that, it just goes to show that her training is going well, her progression is going well. She's found like a comfortable spot. I think she's training with her man as well, which is also like me and Gina giving y'all the insight. It helps, man. It really does. It's like dating a guy who speaks Spanish and then trying to learn Spanish at the same time.
You know, I'm trying to get a Brazilian boyfriend for that reason.
Hey, there you go.
Practice my Portuguese. Solely to practice my Portuguese. But that is exactly why I'm in the market for a Brazilian boyfriend. 100%.
Yes.
But I will say this. I will say this for you and Adam, and I've said this before too, as a cautionary tale, that you do also though need to find your moments of separation, and you can't be everything to each other all the time, every day, because you do need to separate sometimes. That, and it's cool that you can practice, you know, trips and clinches while you're cooking ramen. But at the same time, you need your individuality, and don't lose that individuality because, you know, you got to maintain that as well. But I do, of course, it's advantageous to have somebody that you can, if you can't sleep because you're obsessed with your fight and you just want to roll and work through some whatever, like that's amazing to have that resource there. Like, of course you can't beat that. That's phenomenal.
And y'all can have your little drive-by relationships too, where you have like the drive-by quick hitter, like, you know, oh, I need to work on my grappling. Hey, what's up, boo? You know. Okay.
You got a camp boo for this,
Okay, I got my brown belt now. Now I got to work on some like Muay Thai. Like, oh hey, how you doing? Okay, bye. You know.
Camp boo.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with camp boo. You can go like travel destination.
Nice
workations.
I like it.
A little camp boo for a workation. But it definitely helps. Like even just having buddies, close friends you can talk to, hit up. Like I was saying, I was hitting up my grappling buddies after watching those crazy submissions. There's another one. Lando Venata got hit with a nasty guillotine as well. And the way that he set it up, he just had like the one arm in.
I have it here. Hold on.
Hold on. Prepared, Karyn.
Hold on.
Okay.
What happened was
Karyn came with the receipts. She got all of them. Yes, Jourdain. Jourdain, who's been like, you know, kind of there was a lot of hype with him, but
There
he is
was.
yet to have like a super impressive performance. And I think this
Yeah.
is the one that's really gonna let him explode to the top.
He's
So
very
that
good.
was
I think
really nice takedown too.
yeah, and I feel like when he first got to the UFC, if I remember, he didn't have as much muscle on him and stuff. Like he was kind of
Mm.
smaller. I feel
Yes.
like he's filled out now. He's coming into his own more. And I agree, he came in with a lot of buzz. He was technically very able, but kind of was spotty at first with his career in the UFC. But
Mhm.
yeah, I agree. I think he's kind of coming into his own more now.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so in the tape, you guys saw where he gets on top of Lando and he's like kind of digging his arm in. That's when he was able to set up that guillotine. And it was weird because he literally just grabbed it with one hand, kind of like how he was grabbing onto it after that takedown. He just
Yeah.
had it in one arm. He had it in his armpit, Lando's head.
Okay. Yeah.
And right here, this is the moment. And that's like being able to be a good striker
Yeah.
and a nasty
Oops.
finisher on the ground is such a nasty combination. Like it's so good because there's so many people who are too tough for their own good. Me,
Yeah.
who you'll drop them, but they'll hang in there, they'll survive, they'll crawl up you and like make you wish that you dropped them again, but you can't
Yeah.
because they're back in business. If you can drop somebody and then hop on top of them and get that quick submission finish, and that's what he did. He kind of wrapped up Lando's head in his armpit, waited for
Yeah.
the perfect opportunity. Lando got on top, and then he grabbed his hand and finished the guillotine. It was super slick. I did not see that coming. I thought Lando's head was gonna pop out, and it sucks to see too because Lando's another one that I've always loved, who's always
So
had
fun.
talent to just go all the way to the top, and just seems to drop the ball every now and then. So yeah, that was tough to watch. But Jordan, he's legit, and I think that was a really great performance to show that.
And I hate to say it, but the thing about Lando that always struck me, and maybe it's because of his style when he's fighting that loosey goosey, I'm fighting, but it's the drunken cowboy. What do you call it? A drunken master.
Drunken
Yeah. So
style.
some of that, I guess that kind of fighter and that kind of fight style doesn't make me think he's in there doing tons of strength and conditioning. He's doing tons of whatever. And I do think there's a certain level and there's a certain amount of fighters in the UFC who, and Michelle Pineda is a good example of this, who kind of can get in and can win. I don't want to say with a kitschy way, but they almost win with like a secret move type of thing, right? But eventually the secret move fighters are going to get figured out because the ones with the real fundamental meat and potatoes fighting skills are really going to win consistently.
Yeah.
That like the special skill doesn't win all the time over, you know what I mean? The law of averages. So eventually those people either need to change into a quote unquote more basic fighter or get weeded out, right? And you saw that Pineda specifically changed his fight style. It was like, oh, I need to be consistent. I need to actually win fights. I can't just come here doing cartwheels and somersaults and like expect that that's going to keep working. Like I can't do that. So unfortunately, that's one thing that I have felt about Venata that I don't know. And maybe that's fine. Like not everybody gets into the UFC to be a champion. Not everybody's goal is the same. Maybe he wanted to get in there and just be an entertaining dude and make some money and cash some checks and have a good time. I don't know. I'm not judging him for whatever, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of person. And there's several of them that like is the first guy in the gym and the last one to leave. Like I just didn't ever get that idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like,
but I'm not trying to sound harsh. I know that sounds like way harsher than I mean it.
No, I get what you're saying, but then look at someone like Tim Elliott, who has that same loosey goosey style, that same like go with the flow type of energy. But he's in the gym every fucking day. Like there's not a day where he's on his rest day. He's over there making shapes in the air, like doing something. So yeah, you can't just say that the style gives you that impression. It has to be, other things. Like
True.
I'm trying to think of a fighter.
Wait, because
who
this person's saying,
I've
yeah,
thought
drunken
of
master
that
with
way.
Dominic. I know Dominic's in the gym. You know what I mean? I know Dominic's in the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe honestly, maybe it's not even the style. Maybe it's more of the fact that his record sort of speaks to that, right? That it is up and down, and I guess I kind of think that in general with inconsistent fighters, with you see some people win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. And some people I just think, like I said, maybe they just don't, it's just not that important to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's funny. He said watching his feed is like trying to find a lady out of the 3 cards. It's like,
oh yeah, exactly. That's the thing. He's so entertaining. I'm not saying I want him to change. When it's working, it works amazingly well. It's just that those kind of things aren't going to work. The basics and the fundamentals are always going to win.
Well, yeah, like Jordan
over the time
dropped Venata with a jab, so like that's testament to your point that a lot of times basics are the things that end up stopping people, dropping them. And it's a lot about that floor connection too, like you have to dig your feet into the floor in order to get the power to drop somebody. And if you're too busy floating around, then you might not ever find that shot. So there's always a balance. You have to give up something for something else. You give up mobility for strength and that type of thing.
Right. Cool. All right. Well, cool. Well, I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to get to, or if there was any questions that we had here. Oh, and Barrio, this Butterbets is saying Barrio landed a nice one as well. First submission as a professional. Yeah, that one just kind of bummed me out, the Barrio one, because Jordan Wright is trained by my friends, Antony and Vlad, Antony Hardonk and Vladimir Machashenko, former UFC fighters. So, when this happens, when your friends guys lose, you're always like, yeah, whatever, good for the other guy.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, if you're talking about that one, we'll have to talk about my guy Dwight Grant too. At least he got fight in the night, so that was good.
He did. Unfortunately, I don't have the footage of his. Unfortunately,
it's all good. I'll talk over this because I wasn't paying attention. I turned UFC off for a few hours after. I was so petty this fight card. I was just like, I'm home alone. I'm doing what I want. I'm playing video games. I went and played Elden Ring after watching Dwight fight. But yeah, this was a nice sub, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Because Jordan actually landed some good stuff, and he's a Muay Thai guy and landed some good knees and things. But then, unfortunately, head was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or the right time if you're a Barrio fan.
Yeah. Well, just to recap on Dwight Grant's fight against his Russian kickboxer. My husband was in his corner, and it was a good fight. Dwight got rocked a little bit, then he rocked the guy, dropped him really bad. Chris Taglioni did not stop it, even though I was screaming for him to. And then going into the second round, Dwight gets hit with something pretty bad, starts standing up, but then Chris jumped in and stopped the fight. So it was annoying because I'm like, I'm not super mad at the stoppage, but he could have let it go. But at the same time, I'm only mad about it because Dwight got a really nasty knockdown in the first round, and it was not stopped. And that's the second time it's happened too. So we're talking about refs track records. Chris, what you got against Dwight, man? I feel like some people are putting bets on people, and then they're like, they start doing well, and they're like, let's see how this plays out. I'm gonna let the fighter I bet on die before I start.
That sucks.
So I get really annoyed and very conspiracy theoristy when my friends fight, and things happen a little crazy. But unfortunately, Dwight did not win, but at least he got the fight of night bonus. He put on a good show. And to be honest, guys, if you're getting fight of night bonuses, it doesn't really matter if you're winning or not, because that's you signing a deal for the next year. You're pretty much, and your pocket's going to be lined because you're putting on these exciting fights, because you're making people sweat. You're not doing the cautious, boring style of fighting that, a lot of times gets you wins, but when it comes time to re-sign that contract, you might not be getting that much in return. So that's the upside of, putting on an exciting fight and losing, unfortunately. But
Well,
good job, Dwight.
and that is exactly why, though, guys like Venata are on the roster too, right? Because Venata's not in boring fights.
No, never.
Yeah, so that you're right. But yeah, to have that, leave it out there, and you're right, because at the end of the day, when they're thinking of the people to sign, it's like, well, do people want to watch you fight when you lose? Yeah, are you putting things on? And that we know, because also I know, I've talked to Sean about it, like when they're putting together a fight card and they're putting the bout order together, and they'll say, okay, yeah, in this spot, we need fireworks. And this person is the kind of person that delivers, win or lose. I'm always going to get a finish with this kind of person, or I'm always going to get, maximum effort. This person doesn't fight for points. And they know that about you. And that does really matter.
Yes. Oh, what was I going to say? Never mind. We won't talk about
that. What is our question here? Wait.
Well, I just saw Captain Darling's comment, and
it's
funny. Yeah, it's funny because we actually have a call me and Adam do called Usman. But I'm not going to tell y'all what it is. But you guys,
he's saying, for those who are just listening to this, it says straight down the pipe is the MMA gotcha punch from a fan's view. Maybe it's the small black gloves and the fact that there's little arm movement to see peripherally. But in MMA, a good straight jab is a golden ATM. Usman ATM is loving it. And it is so true. Like, literally, it wasn't a jab. It was a straight right from Cyborg. But sometimes these straights are literally the ones that just shut people down. But you're right. Like, who is it with a jab? Like, you've seen people win fights with jabs. I mean, for crying out loud, George St. Pierre, jabs and takedowns. Like,
I think he's the most famous version of just like jabbing the shit out of someone to win a fight. And it doesn't when you have that tunnel vision, then you don't hear the boos. Like, if you're hitting someone and connecting, you can feel that like crunch on your knuckles every time you hit them, and then you can see it in their eyes that they're like about to do something. You hit them and they're like, wait, what was I about to do? Like, that is the way to win a fight. Like, if it keeps working, keep doing it. And the jab is the first thing that you throw in order to set up everything else. So if they can't get past your jab, why do anything else? Like, the jab is the best weapon in MMA, really.
Economical too. It doesn't take a lot of effort.
Doesn't take a lot of effort. There are very few things that you can be countered off of it, like a good jab. Like, unless someone's really, really good at like kicking the hitting the calf kick and timing it well, or if they're really good at hitting like a single leg or slipping underneath it, it's really hard to counter a really solid, like, fast in and out jab. So if you can do that all night, like, there's no problem with that.
Nice.
But I'm not going to tell you what the call for Usman is. But I feel like you guys can guess, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. But listen for it on May 14th. Listen for Usman. And then see if you can figure it out. Yeah.
And I'm excited. Yes, I'm working that night as well. So that'll be fun.
Hey.
But yeah. Hey, okay. So when people want to follow you for your fight camp and all this stuff, where can they find you?
Oh, if you guys want to follow me for my fight camp, you can find me at Angie Overkill on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me at Overkill Hill on TikTok. And you can find me at Angela Hill MMA on Facebook. And also, I do radio show on Sirius MMA and Sirius Radio, MMA Fight Nation, every Wednesday, 9 to 11 Pacific Standard Time. I did a little better this week. A little better, Karyn, but show me how it's done. Where can they find you?
Well, yeah, over on Twitter and YouTube and actually TikTok, which I'm trying to do more often. It's Karyn Bryant, Karyn. Bryant
doesn't some Kobe. Dances going on.
Right. Karyn, Bryant doesn't Kobe, no relation, but may he rest in peace. Over on Instagram, I'm at KB Heat. Yeah. And yeah, so I also have Tuesday night festivities that actually, I believe Tuesday night festivities is actually going to either be dark this week, or we're going to do it on Wednesday, because I think on Tuesday we're going to go to Michael Jai White has a new movie coming out, and got invited to like a screening of his or whatever.
Oh my
and whatever,
gosh!
and it's a new movie. It's like a I guess a martial arts western type thing. Like Josh Barnett is in it, Cowboy's
I
in it.
wanted to see that so bad.
Different
Oh,
people.
that's
So there's
so
a screening.
cool.
So I think we're gonna go to that, because I got the invite, and I said to Hanato, I was like, hey, it'd actually be fun to go to this together, because I think he knows Michael
Nice.
as well. And also, since Josh is in it, Josh is our buddy and stuff. And so this week we will probably be doing the show on Wednesday. But then,
Hey.
I head out to Vegas on Thursday and working this weekend. So I'm working with Kiesa and Dean. And this is Kiesa's last work weekend before he goes off to get married. So it'll be fun. And
Oh,
our
so
little
sweet.
Kiesa.
A little romantic Kiesa over there.
It's so cute. But yeah, everybody, these are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. So you can go and download it. These are this was episode 61, which means there's a whole mess of other ones for you to check out. And hopefully you will, and you can tell your friends all about it, right?
Yeah, and the chat was live today, so thanks for showing up
stuff.
live. Like, thank you guys. Keep coming in, keep talking about it, tell your friends and everything. You rock, heavy lifter.
Thank you.
How much you bench? Yeah.
That's right.
How much?
And by the way, don't
squat.
How much you squat? Yeah, she wants to know about the cakes. Also, Jonas G saying, what's the movie? I don't know what you're talking about, but I just want to tell everybody that I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once last night, and it is so great with Michelle Yeoh. The action sequences, the fight sequences are ridiculously good.
Yeah,
and it's just such a cool movie. It's just a really, really great movie. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah,
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
The preview had glimpses of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and I'm like, oh shit, this looks cool. But I think they were talking about the Michael Jai White movie. What?
Oh yeah, right. It's called. Hold that thought. It is.
Heavy Lifter says not enough. He doesn't squat enough. Let's go.
Oh, he doesn't squat enough to get those cakes
popping.
Get them cakes. Get them cakes. It's so ridiculous. Okay, here's the text. It is called it's called The Outlaw Johnny Black.
Yes, that's
The Outlaw Johnny Black.
So
yeah,
if you meet Michael Jai White, can you put in a good word for me? Because
I've already met him.
I mean, if you see him there, if you see him there, can you put in a good word for me? Because I'm pretty sure that I can make an okay action movie star. I'm just saying, like, maybe show him some of my bookie ads or something. Show him how I can get into character. I could be a badass, or I could be like the
Foxy Brown.
Yeah, Fox Brown. Or I can, be like the comic relief, just do a little, hey guys, I don't know.
Again, I'll see what I can do.
I got layers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it'll be fun. I haven't actually seen him. The last time I saw him was, like I think for Never Back Down years and years ago, like at a press junket for Never Back Down or something. So I haven't actually seen him in person in a while, but yeah, nice guy. So I think Hanato is going to be going to that with me.
Nice.
And we'll check the movie. And so then we were joking. We were like, well, we could do the show from there. And like, if there's an after party, be like, yeah, dude. So we might. So people should just look at, we might be live from there. But anyway, yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to checking that movie out. So,
nice. Yeah, get a press pass. Get the carpet on there. All you need is your phone. Get someone to record it. You get to go. Awesome. Well, have fun this weekend. Super exciting weekend for you, or week for you. And I'll be back in the boring fight camp. But fortunately, only 2 more hard weeks left, and then it's go time. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.